Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Pop Spot, where we pop up all the spots we love in professional wrestling. I am your host, Andre C. Fueled on caffeine and just feeling right and dandy this morning. Right over here is my boy AWS. How you doing, sir?
I am feeling just as, cold and just as, I am full of wrestling, and I still got one more day. Here we go. This is a very busy weekend over here at the Pop Spot because we got 2 shows we're covering today. And then later today, we're going to the RCW show, which we will be covering and dropping in a couple days' time.
Yep.
It's been a long weekend for wrestling.
It has been. But good. It's a good kind of long weekend. I like when we have weekends like this.
It's good to have this weekend, every once in a while, where there's 3 shows on 3 days.
Because we had this last year at one point too.
The TNA, we had TNA 2 days and then Top,
yeah. That I think was a very exhausting weekend because I didn't get a break day at all.
Yeah, you had to go right to work afterwards. Jeez.
Yeah. Unlike this one, like I'll get Sunday off. Other than recording a couple things, I get Sunday off, which is nice.
Is nice. Yeah.
But we are here to talk about some LPW/LPWxCWS. We're going to kick it off with the LPWxCWS show from Thursday, January 22nd, which I was the less than stellar ring announcer of.
Yeah, so unprofessional. You had your phone out the entire time, and Boris was giving you shit the whole time.
Wants to read something because I couldn't remember it. I'm bad at
Boris was giving you shit from moment 1.
Sorry, Boris. Sorry.
We move on to match number 1 of the CWS show. It is Nasty Nate Nixon taking on the Thickness Reed Matthews. Refereed by one of the new up-and-coming referees in LPW, one Samantha Vimes. Yeah, very cool to see her. I'm gonna keep it a buck with everyone watching. We have a lot to cover in this episode, so we're gonna keep it very brief between matches, just so you know.
We're gonna be a little bit less because we got what 11 matches.
11 matches to cover. We may go into a bit more detail with the main show matches, but
maybe
with the CWS, I'm gonna keep it relatively brief.
Yeah.
We get some action in the beginning, and then we get Thickness does come back with some really cool, really thick-looking lariats, thick lines, as I called them, from the Thickness, capped off with a big shining wizard, which I called the Shining Thickzard. And we're off to a great start with that. Nate eventually does set up the Thickness for a nasty German. And then he gets up onto the top rope, does his big Vince Austin-esque twisting splash, and hits a buck nasty. Really awesome-looking sequence and combination for 2 from Nate there. A bit more action, and then we get the finish. Catch Nate's big running knee that he does that's really cool-looking. Thickness catches that. Then he has this really cool samurai-esque roundhouse where he, kicks and he follows through and looks back like Nate is supposed to fall over. It was really cool. But Nate manages to not fall over. He bounces back off the ropes, hits another knee. And then this time Thickness steps back, turns his head, and says that didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And then Nate, seeing he's got no real recourse, he pushes Samantha Vimes down. And Samantha Vimes, with the top tier acting here, just kind of sits there for a good 10 seconds, gets up, gets in Nate's face, and she says, "Do I look like the Thickness?" Not really. There's a distinct difference. And then she disqualifies Nate Nixon, giving the win to the Thickness Reed Matthews by disqualification. It was a pretty fun opener. Very happy with it.
I thought strong opener. Again, Thickness and Nate have had this animosity going for months now. and just their war with the Short Kings versus Mad Lad war going on. And again, I think it's just solid match between the two of them here. Two hosses just trying to beat the shit out of each other, but like I still don't understand Nate going after the ref. It's like if you're having that trouble, you dig down, you dig down deep, and you just push harder at your opponent. You don't push a referee.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Like, you're like this big macho man, and then you push the ref down. Like, come on.
yeah, I don't know. Just not having Nate for that
Something's up
finish,
about that.
but the match itself was very good, and
It
like
was very good.
those flying knees of Nate's are just lethal, man. They're so good.
They look amazing. They're some of my favorite knees in the business, honestly.
Mm-hmm. It's the way he pops them off. He looks really good.
Yeah, it genuinely it looks beautiful every time.
Yeah.
We move on to match number 2. The other half of the Short Kings, the never dead Mars the Specialist, is taking on the current LPW Scramble champion in a singles match. It's the runaway model Nick Shostastic. This was a very fun contest. We get Mars' main goal in this match is to break Nick's arm. He has a lot of arm-based offense, and he hits the arm code breaker, which is one of my favorite ways to weaken the arm, because it looks like it doesn't do much, but the arm code breaker is very fun. We get a fun moment where Nick is on the outside, Mars is on the inside, and he picks up Mars and scoop slams him with his arms in between the ropes.
When he's standing on the apron, but his body is like through the ropes.
Yeah, and he scoop slams Mars through the ropes. It was very cool.
And then comes over with like that corkscrew elbow over the top.
Yeah, it was very cool looking. Very, very, very beautiful by Nick Shostastic there. And we get the finish of the match. Mars manages to get Nick down, knee to the shoulder, locks in the Mars bar, and manages to tap out the LPW Scramble champion.
Is that what it's called, the Mars bar?
Yeah, that's what I heard Boris call it, the Mars bar.
All right, it's the Mars bar. I'm down with that.
Yeah. I like it too. It's a fun name. Yeah. So he taps out Nick with the Mars bar, gets the submission win. There's a post-match show of respect, shake hands, star wipe, and we're out. That whole thing.
Yeah.
This was also a fun athletic contest. I really like seeing Mars in singles action. Like, I love the Short Kings. They were my LPW tag team of the year, but it's cool to see people that are normally tag team specialists do singles matches, because you can see a whole different dimension to their style.
Mm-hmm. And again, like, I watched Mars for come up at his run in RCW as RCW champion. Did some great stuff in the singles division. Then his early run in LPW too. And then teaming up with Thickness and that whole business has been amazing. But he's got this something special about him and Mars, that he's so good. You just can't put this guy down. It's not possible.
He can't be killed.
No, he can't.
Yeah, very, very cool. We move on to match number 3. It's a tag team contest. It's the Clandestine Society. Michael Richard Blaze and the LPW Grand Champion Stephen Crow. Sorry, Michael Richard Blaze is the LPW Challenge Champion as well. And they're taking on the tag team of Canadian Goose.
The word I couldn't say is when I went to announce them, I couldn't. Challenge just wouldn't come out of my mouth. The word challenge, I just couldn't say the word challenge. It took me.
It was like LPW, and then it was like a good 3 seconds, and then you finally got it out.
Finally said challenge. I'm like, why can't I say challenge?
Well, you figured it out eventually. And they are taking on the tag team of the Canadian Goose, Kyle Shaw, and Lone Star Scotty Ace, a team that you called Wild West, which I think is
they are the Wild West. Yes, they are the Wild West, because Goose is from the skies over the Great White North, and Lone Star is from Austin, Texas. So. Well, less.
You didn't get a weight on his hat today, though.
Well, I can't really combine light as a feather with a weight.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Harsh.
That's a very fair point. We get some really cool action. This is honestly a really well-worked contest here. We get a really cool submission move from Scotty. I don't know if I can explain this properly, but he basically he's got Crow in this submission. He wraps Crow's legs around his arms, and he also has his
Well-
neck in his arm, and he torques it.
Well, he puts the legs like figure four style, like makes like
Yeah.
a four out of his legs, but with
Yeah.
Crow's two arms like this, with the legs strapped around.
Yeah,
this,
wrapped around his own arms, and then
and
he's
then puts a
torquing the head.
cravat, and then puts a cravat in. He gets a
Yeah.
cravat
Uh-huh.
on the head. I wrote that. I specifically made sure I wrote that down. That
Yeah.
move was awesome.
It was like it was very cowboy. He hog-tied that guy up. It was crazy.
The hog tie.
There it is. You can
It's
have
the
it,
hog,
Scotty.
but it's now the hog tie.
It's the
I
hog
told
time.
him. I told him we need to come up. We got to come up with a move. We have to come up with a name for that submission. It's the hog tie.
It's the hog tie now. Very cool.
Boom.
There you go.
Boom.
Very, very good. We get a lot more action, but I'm gonna skip some of a good chunk of it. We get Goose does come back in for the hot tag. Steven gets rocked by a massive headbutt from Goose, and then he hits the flock bottom. It's the flock bottom, and then he goes up top to go for his moonsault, but he misses by a mile, unfortunately. Scotty gets back in. He hits the final draw. And at the same time, Goose is headed to the outside where now everyone is, and he hits a tope. I called it a tope con flaco, even though it was a tope suicida. I just thought it was fitting.
A tope flocacida?
Yeah, the flocacida. Yeah, I couldn't come up with a goose pun for suicida. So I just said tope con flaco. And we get everyone is outside. The Blaze brothers are Blaze and Crow are arguing on the outside. There's a lot of that, and I forget who the ref was this time. I think it was Stu Earns. It was either Stu or Ben.
No, it was Samantha.
It was Samantha. Okay,
yeah. It went Sam, Stu, Ben,
and then Ben. Yeah. So yeah, Samantha Vimes again is counting these guys out while Blaze and Crow are arguing on the outside. There's a lot of sibling rivalry happening right now. So while they're arguing, Goose manages to roll in before the count of 10, and Goose's team wins by count out. The Blaze brothers are counted out, and that sibling rivalry is being pushed even more. We are hurtling towards this Blaze versus Crow match at some point.
It's gonna come to a head at some point, but like it's very obvious because. Like, older brother has always been the kind of main one of the two, and now the young brother has gotten the championship. He's always been kind of jealous of his older brother. You can kind of tell. So he's in that kind of power position now. So he's been pushing him around and ordering him around, and it's not going. This is going to fall apart at some point, and somebody get kicked in the face. But I do need to talk about one spot in this match.
Yeah, please do.
Crow went for final consecration in this match.
I completely missed that.
So he had him up for he lifted him, was holding him like Blaze does for that, and he goes to lift him up for it, but then Ace just turns it into a Rana. Looked really good.
Oh no, I do remember that spot. I'm sad I didn't take that note.
Oh, I made sure to write that down. Again, this is the only match I actually took notes for on this show or on the Thursday show because again I was working. But yeah, I really loved the way they did that there. I'm like, that was so good. That was so good.
Really well done, actually. Yeah, this was a very fun tag match. Very happy with it. We move on to match number 4 of the evening. It is a 2 out of 3 falls match. It is the intangible Zoe Sager taking on Jaxx Wylder. This is a very fun contest. There's a moment really early in the match where Jaxx is down on his stomach and Zoe stands on his back for like 30 seconds just playing to the crowd.
Yeah,
that was very funny.
And she was just going after this little girl who was sitting in the front row the entire time, and she just kept arguing with this little girl. It was hilarious.
And the little girl was cheering her, and she's just like, "Shut up."
We had like 2 or 3 months of her as good girl Zoe. Now she's back to being the evil Zoe.
Yeah, now she's back to being the leader of whatever that I guess the Intangibles is the name of the faction now, with her and the Mad Lads.
Sure, the intangibles.
They used to be called Absolution or whatever.
No, that's from
That's the
WWE.
Page thing. I forget what they were called.
I can't remember. It's on one of my cards somewhere. Yeah.
But we Fall 1
Elevation.
Elevation, that's what it was. Thank you.
That's the name with Rose. It was Elevation. Yeah.
Fall 1 comes from a Z Factor, as I called it. Zoe's little spinning face buster there.
Oh, yeah, it's a Z Factor.
Yeah. Zoe is now up 1-0. There's a bit more action, and we get Jaxx manages to roll up Zoe while she's arguing with Stu Earns, gets a 2 count, immediately picks her back up and goes into a small package and gets the 3, and that's how Jaxx ties it up.
I missed that one because I was in the middle of dealing with something. I had to run up to the sound booth for a minute.
Yeah,
and I ended up missing that pinfall. I was like, oh no! And I hear the bell, and I had to look over and be like, okay, Jaxx got the pinfall. There's a second ball, Jaxx Wylder, because I didn't see it happen. I was like, oh no! Did she win the match, or is it 1-1 now?
It happens. We get a couple of finishes.
Legitimately, when she won the first fall. A bunch of people, I hadn't pulled my mic out yet, and a bunch of people were like, a couple people went, "Oh, did she win the match? It's already over." And I just pulled my mic up, like, "You're winning the first fall."
Yeah, there was a lot of people.
People went, "Oh, okay."
There was a lot of people at this show who were here because of Winterruption. By the way, shouts out Winterruption. They were there from Winterruption, and a lot of them probably didn't really know a lot of the rules of wrestling. And they didn't even hear.
I did say it was a 2 out of 3 falls match.
They may have missed that, to be fair.
So they must have missed my commentary. I'm very loud, especially with that microphone.
Yeah. We get Jaxx breaking out a couple of his signature moves here. He gets the Spirit Crusher on Zoe, but Zoe manages to grab his nose and break out of it. He debuts a new move on this show tonight. At least it's the first time I've seen it, and it had a name. He hits the Unsainter, the forearm to the back of the head. Mm-hmm. Very cool looking. Does seem to rock Zoe when she gets hit by it. We get the finish here. He goes for another Unsainter and misses, catches Zoe's kick, spins her out. And then Zoe, she's like, I'm done with this crap. She clocks Jaxx square in the balls right in front of Stu Garvey. And Stu's like, okay, DQ.
Yep.
And Jaxx wins the 2 out of 3 falls match, his second fall coming by DQ. There you go. Jaxx has some momentum going into his challenge championship match the next night. So this was very good. I really enjoyed this match.
Yeah. I thought really I've loved the glow up we've seen in Jaxx Wylder. Again, it's only been about 6 months that we've been seeing this guy, because I want to say, because of him, I know him and Scotty Ace both came out of the clandestine school.
Yeah.
He
debuted in like August, I think.
And I think Scotty was around June? Like they
June,
were
around the time we started the show, yeah.
Yeah, they were they were in the same class. Like they kind of came out around the same point.
Yeah.
And like I think Jaxx debuted on like these shows back in like June or July. He made his like main show debut in like August.
Yeah.
But like again, and again, seeing both the guys in their 6 months that like, and again, watching Jaxx like in the parallel to Scotty Ace has been awesome to see, and to see Jaxx's rise. We talked about it on our best of show, because Jaxx is one of our top 3 newcomers of the year.
Yeah.
And I've loved to see the rise. His character's been absolutely awesome. He's been evolving in every great possible way, and it really shows. Be able to hang with. It's weird to say, but a vet like Zoe said. Because like she's been wrestling for almost 10 years now.
Yeah, she is a vet at this point. I want to
say 2016, 2017 would have been around when Zoe came around.
Yeah, when she started showing up at PWA.
She's almost 10 years into this business. So like to hang as well as he did with her shows how good he has become in this short time of being in the ring. And again, I think he's absolutely phenomenal. This match was so good, both of them. That scorpion kick Zoe does,
yes,
the handstand into the kick. I love that kick.
God, it gets me every time.
Well. Like I think she might actually hit it better than Dakota Kai, in my opinion.
She actually
in my
might.
opinion. In my
It's
opinion.
debatable, but she might.
That's my opinion. But I think she does. But
yeah, no, it was a very good match. We move on to the main event of the LPWxCWS show. It is a match for the thank you. It is an Air Miles match for the CWS Championship of Salvation.
Okay,
what is an Air Miles match, Andre?
Let me explain an Air Miles. So an Air Miles match is a match where you must hit a move off of the top rope before you get a pin or apply a submission. You can win by submission. You just have to come off of the top with an offensive move, which I'm going to argue the finish.
Yeah, which is fair.
Of this match because
we'll get there. We'll get there.
Well, yeah, okay. Yeah. So there's an early pit. There's an early spot in here where Will goes over the top rope, lands on his feet inside, and like he holding the top rope, he goes over the top from the apron, which is technically a move over the top rope, so that counts. But he lands on his feet, then he hits a move, and Ben won't count the pin because he said he landed first. Just putting that out there for when we get to the finish.
Put that in your dome for the finish, yeah. So, yes, it is the CWS Champion of Salvation, white shirt William Taylor, taking on the Starrchild Christian Starr. This is going to be a fun one. We get a little thing at the beginning where a more professional announcer than Andre announces William Taylor's entrance here.
Whoa. Okay. This dude didn't know who he was at first, but lo and behold, it's one Mr. Whiteshirt's father. Outclasses me, outclasses Spencer's ability, outclasses Ivan, and every other announcer I've ever known.
Yeah.
This dude. I was blown away with how good of an announcer this man was. I was like, man, I've looked like shit all night compared to this dude.
It was kind of humbling in a way. Like he did phenomenally with Will's intro. Like, holy crap.
The guy must have done it professionally. He has to have.
He has to have. Yeah, you don't get the chops like that without doing something professional.
Yeah, it was so good.
We get a lot of back and forth action between the two here. A lot. Here, first thing I want to talk about is Christian goes to do a move off the top rope, and Will does the Samoa Joe walk off, which I love. I love that spot. Christian goes to dive on Will, and Will just walks away. It's my favorite spot in wrestling. It's so good. Will eventually has to go to the top rope to do something. So he goes to the top rope, and we get the slowest, the like safest preparation ever. And he's like, doing squats on the top rope just to make sure, he's safe. And he goes and does a swanton and misses by a mile because he was taking so long. It was very funny. We get the scariest spot of the night where Will has Christian up in a powerbomb position, goes to throw Christian out of the ring, and it looks like Christian's going to land really bad. But I think he breaks his fall a little bit, like his leg breaks his fall on a chair a little bit. So he lands surprisingly safe, but it was really scary.
Okay, so they're in for the buckle bomb, but you were watching it from the one side of the ring.
Yeah,
the buckle bomb was on the far side to you.
Yeah,
I was over on this side, so the buckle bomb he came down on the side I was on.
Yeah,
and I watched him huck him at the corner, but Starr lands ass first onto the top turnbuckle and just goes boom, falling. He hit the apron. Feet hit the chair that we kind of used to step up onto the stage from the ground, and kind of falls on his back. This is the most worried I've ever been about somebody needing to get in before a 10 count. Like I legit was gonna be able to get in before it because I was like, did this guy just kill himself? Like, did you ever get killed here on this fall? Because it looked insanely painful for that fall.
It was a 9 count, I think. This is one of those where it
I
looks like
agree.
it was a shoot
I
9
agree.
count.
I agree.
Yeah. We get a lot more top rope offense. Christian really breaking out his awesome high flying lucha-esque offense with all the cool stuff he does. But eventually Nate rears his nasty head and comes on out. Will hilariously at this point takes one of Ben's shoes while Nate attacks Christian, which I found really funny.
Give me my shoe back.
It's like, give me my damn shoe back.
Ben just in his face yelling, give me my shoe. Oh my God, I laughed so hard at
It
that.
was very funny. And then here's the finish. We get Will grabs Christian, drags him to the top rope, puts him in a sleeper hold, and it looked really brutal how he looked like he had basically hung Christian from the gallows here.
Christian was literally he was choking him on the ropes, and like I guess there's no DQ. It's not a rope break. I don't know because he had him hanging in the corner.
Yeah.
And Will, while he's got him in the thing, stands up on the top rope, like hanging him and choking him.
Yep.
And just lets him go.
He flops to the ground.
And then this is my issue. Will then jumps down, lands, then goes and pins. I understand the move was applied on the top rope, but Ben specifically said you have to do it and then into the pin. But he broke the sequence by landing on his feet, according to Ben's rules. Now, I'm not going to nitpick it too much, but again, I was like, okay.
Sure.
I guess maybe the landing is also part of the choke. Is the only way I can explain this because you have to let him go and come down before you can make the pin. So I'm guessing the landing is part of the choke move that was applied on the top rope. So I can't accept it. It just threw me off for a minute when I was watching. I'm like, wait, didn't he just break the sequence? But again, it's the landing after the choke, I guess. But it was weird.
Yeah.
It
was weird. It was a little weird, but I thought it was cool enough where I was okay with it because again, that moment where he's basically looks like he's hanging Christian from the gallows, so cool.
Like I would have, if you should have been just asking, like if Christian would have been just, I'm surprised Christian could go out up there, like completely out.
You just Ben would have called it there,
like that. Ben would have just called it right there because technically it was a move on the top rope, so. Yeah. It would have counted.
I think so. There's some post-match. The Mad Lads attack Christian post-match. They go for a Super Buck Nasty, but it's interrupted by the Short Kings. Short Kings hit a double V trigger, and I think they hit it on Will, and then Will gets a frog splash receipt from Christian to send the fans home happy and prep for the main event of the next show. Overall, very good show. The wrestling was amazing. I have some issues, but they don't really pertain to the show itself, so it is what it is. The wrestling was really good. Really good job. Shouts out specifically to Christian and Jaxx for what I think were the performances of the night. We'll get to the match of the night later.
Well, what's your match of Thursday?
Well, you're going to do that now? Okay, yeah. Match of Thursday. You don't even have to change the graphic. It is the main event.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. It was really close for me between this and Jax's match, but yeah, I think I enjoyed Christian and Will's match a bit more. There was a bit more intrigue and a lot of like scary, cool, brutal spots. Jaxx did phenomenally, but it was I thought it was going to be closer. It really wasn't.
So and what about you? Match of the night.
Go on.
In the middle is a tag team match between the Clandestine Society and Wild West. I thought this was just such a fun match. Everything they were doing, I thought just a solid overall match. Not my favorite finish on the whole show, but I loved the match itself. And I just had so much fun watching it. I loved the main event. I loved 2 to 3 Fall. I loved everything else. It's just this one kind of just stood out to me out of all of them. And I'm giving it like, and yeah, just, I don't know, just, it was really good.
Mm-hmm. And now we move on to the Friday night show. It is LPW 44. Great Scott.
Which kicks off with your LPW Grand Champion coming out to interrupt our boy Spencer Love from his intro. And he comes out saying how good he is, and he's the match he's doing tonight is charity work.
Charity work, sure.
Because he's facing the Canadian Goose. So Goose comes out. The match starts, but Crow demands the microphone again, and he starts saying that he's telling Goose to leave, saying if you go now, you can always say to your friends and your family that you did have an LPW Grand Championship match. Just go because it's inevitable what's going to happen. And but then Crow tries to attack Goose. Goose ducks it, catches him, hits the Sister Abigoose,
and almost gets
put on the ropes.
My favorite part, I'm sorry, I have notes on this promo, and it's just the way that I summed it up. I find it very funny. Stephen Crow tries to convince Goose to flock off, but Goose gives him the double bird.
the double flock you.
Yeah, the double flock you. He means it.
Yeah.
And then, the Sister Abigoose was great.
Yeah, there's a nice tope goosecita
there it is.
Crow on the floor.
Think of that?
Tope goosecita to the floor. Goose's one point gets this beautiful ripcord headbutt into the bionic things and follows up with a double arm DDT for 2. The mandible Goose gets stopped. Crow gets a bunch of beautiful kicks and a big boot. He goes to the top, but Goose stops him up top and hits a super Goosterplex, as I'm going to call it.
Goosterplex.
Super Goosterplex, but only gets 2. He hits a Canadian Goose Destroyer, but only gets 2. Goose goes to the top at the end of this match, misses the Goose Salt, and Crow hits him with the good, bad, and the ugly, then puts him in a move, I don't know, but it's like a modified Rings of Saturn where we've talked about this move before. Crow's kneeling, but he's got the Rings of Saturn put in, and Goose is forced to submit. And I think that submission is awesome.
It is a cool looking submission, absolutely. Rings of Saturn, probably like in my top 3 submission moves of all time. And this variation is very cool.
Well, my new favorite submission is the hog tie now.
But... yeah, there you go. Shouts out to the hog tie, yeah.
But yeah, absolutely phenomenal. I thought these two had a phenomenal match. I
didn't have the graphic up the entire time.
I'm so sorry, Lucy. I'm so sorry, Mr. Crow. I feel like an ass. I'm sorry.
It is what it is.
I'm sorry, boys. But yeah, again, I thought absolutely tremendous match between the two of these guys. I have to make a note for that when I do the chapters because I usually know when to switch the chapters of our talks. Just when people want to jump to a certain state by when the graphics show up.
Yeah, you're gonna have to make a note. It is what it is.
But yeah, I thought absolutely tremendous match between the two of them. And Goose really stepping up to try to challenge for this championship and showing how good, again, this guy's become. I want to say 2018, 2019, Goose got into started wrestling, or started training in wrestling, and has just come leaps and bounds over the last bunch of years. And has just evolved into this just wonderful character, awesome professional wrestler. You just love seeing Goose anytime he's out there. I like to boo him sometimes. I like to cheer him sometimes. It all depends on the day.
Exactly. Yeah, no, Goose is very fun. I gotta give Crow his flowers. He's very good. He is so great. And he's been a very dominant grand champion. I mean, there's a reason he is your LPW man of 2025.
He's my LPW wrestler of the year in 2025. Yeah, because again, like you just look at the domination of a year, winning that championship, or like it was April, and
I think it was April.
It all year, and then holding it all year,
and making it undisputed and making it undisputed when he took the Z Grand Championship,
the ZPW title. Yeah.
This was a great match. Very happy with it as an opener.
And then after the match, Crow continues to attack Goose, being the jerk that he is. And T.Y. Jackson comes out to make the save, and they kind of get in each other's faces. And then Crow leaves to the back, and then Goose eventually makes his way up. But guess what?
We transition.
It's T.Y. Jackson versus Dean Fiston, time to fist Richter.
Dean Fiston, time to fist Richter. Yes.
I went to say fisting time, but then I switched to time to fist.
Yeah, you made it right. Yeah. One note I want to make on this entrance, and we're going to get an explanation on this later, but Thad does come out with a neck brace, and it is the same pattern as his suit, and I find that.
No. It was a white neck brace, but he had his tie tied around the neck brace.
Oh, it was the tie. Okay, fair enough.
Because it was just a white neck brace, but he put the tie around the neck brace.
Yeah, it's still a cool look. I like.
I thought it was great.
Yeah, it's a very cool look.
Yeah,
no, T.Y. indeed
tied around the neck brace. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, fast start with these guys. You get some German fist plexes, as we like to call them.
Yes.
Rolling fist arm to the back of the head by Dean, and then gets him up on his shoulders. This gentleman right here was like just so sure he was going for a one-winged angel.
A one-fisted angel,
One-fisted angel. But he ends up hitting the Kreuz Wrath, the drop down into the German.
Yeah, which is also cool. I'm down with it.
Yeah, Dean ends up catching a kick from T.Y. Jackson into a choke bomb, but it's kind of delayed on getting the cover, so only gets 2.
Yeah.
Again, Dean starts hitting gets more offense in, hits some running boots to the head, but T.Y. comes back with a couple super kicks. And then T.Y. fires up with attacks and gets caught in a choke bomb, but fights it off. But gets caught
second choke bomb. I'm sorry. He telegraphs this second choke bomb for like 5 years.
Yeah. But so T.Y. fights up, but then eventually gets caught into like this spinning fisherman sit-out driver.
The packaged fisherman driver is what I call it.
Yeah, like he's got him, like he lifts him fisherman suplex, but then spins him in front, brings him down like pile driver style. Like, dude,
it was really brutal and really cool looking.
Yeah, but he only gets a 2 off of that. T.Y. slips the seismic fish driver, hits a kick from the apron, then hits a freaking green killer onto the stage, or the
Randy Orton DDT.
Yeah, the green. It's the green killer. It's Kenta's green killer. I'm calling.
Yeah.
It. But yeah, hits that onto the stage, just brutal. Then he picks Dean up, starts running him into the post on the outside, then tosses him back in, goes to the top, swanton bomb off the top, and T.Y. Jackson is your winner. Yeah,
it was very good.
This is a tremendous match. Tremendous. Yeah. What else you got on this one?
What else do I have on this one?
Sorry,
you pretty much hit every note I wanted to talk about.
And just that good.
Yeah, I want to give another shout out to that packaged fisherman driver. Yeah, it was really cool looking, and again, really, like make that could actually finish some lesser opponents, but because T.Y. is just built different, he got out of it.
Yeah. So I gotta say, I love this match. I thought these two worked so well together.
Yeah, they have great chemistry.
The chemistry with these two is absolutely tremendous, and just the way they were working with each other was so good.
Yeah.
But we move on to our third match of the evening, and it's for the LPW Challenge Championship. It is your champion, Michael Richard Blaze, taking on Jaxx Wylder. This show match was on Friday, by the way, if people didn't realize it. It's two separate shows.
This is all the Friday show. This match has a great little story to it, because obviously at the last show, the Revolution Rumble, Jaxx eliminated Michael Richard Blaze in a huge upset. So now he's been given this challenge championship match, and both of these guys cut really good promos about this match. Shouts out to them for their promos. This was easily on the show the match that I was the most hyped for.
Yeah, this was so looking forward to this, and it lived up. Like early on, Blaze goes before the match starts, or as the match starts, Blaze rolls out to the outside and hugs this dude in a sombrero.
Yeah.
But the funniest part about it all, the dude was cheering for Jaxx the entire match,
which is hilarious.
So good, so freaking good. Really good sequence at the start where they're both like flipping and moving out of each other's moves, like reversing out of each other's moves and everything. And like Blaze ends it with like a flip kip up and like to go face to face with Jaxx. Really good. Blaze getting this move where he's been doing lately. I really like he'll be in the corner and then suplex the guy up as he walks forward into the suplex.
Yeah, the walkout suplex.
I really like that.
It's a cool thing.
Yeah. Jackson fighting back at one point, getting a bunch of kicks, hits the downward axe kick to the back of Blaze.
He's been doing that a lot lately. I love that. It's very
and then
cool.
then he falls over the flying enziguri for 2. Blaze gets him in the corner, hitting 3 cheeky Nandos, fires up, hits the 4th, then pulls him off the top into an airplane spin torture rack bomb, but only gets 2.
Wow.
And then Jaxx comes back with his own airplane spin into a Death Valley driver.
Yeah, it was really, beautiful. Dueling airplane spins. Love it.
Yeah, Blaze getting his kneecap brainbuster at one point for 2. Great spot where Jaxx gets the Spirit Crusher on.
Yep.
You want to talk about it?
Yeah, he gets the Spirit Crusher on, and as he's torquing it back so much, like really far, he's basically bridging on Blaze's neck and just torquing back. But Blaze manages to stand up out of the Spirit Crusher, grabs Jaxx, and hits a massive backbreaker.
Like the Orton style backbreaker over his back.
The spinning backbreaker. Yeah, the over the back backbreaker. Yeah.
Like he had his arm and then got his arm out, grabbed the head, and bam, came down into the
backbreaker.
That looks so beautiful. Good. Yeah. They're fighting. They fight out on the stage at one point. Blaze hits a super kick, final consecration, only get 2. They end up fighting on the stage. Blaze hits the pile driver on the stage. They come back inside. Blaze hits final consecration and gets the win.
I want to point out
post match. Let's talk the match itself.
Yeah, I want to point out Jaxx kicked out of both the kneecap brainbuster and the final consecration. It took a pile driver and a final consecration to put him down, and that is just the fortitude on Jaxx is impressive here. This match was phenomenal. It was absolutely like point for point. It had so many great moves. It had a great story. These guys have great chemistry. I can't see a lot of things wrong with the match.
Yeah. I thought an absolutely tremendous match. Again, they're solid. Everybody's just doing amazing things here. So post-match, Blaze picks up Jaxx. You think he's going to hit him with another move, but then shakes his hand. And this is where Crow comes out and attacks Jaxx. And then Crow and Blaze start beefing and pushing each other. And then TFA comes out. She came out with Blaze before the match. She comes back out. She gets in between the brothers. And then Jaxx goes to hit Crow. But Crow ducks out of the way. He hits TFA. So this is incenses Blaze and Crow, and then they both turn on Jaxx and beat him up.
Yep.
And then Goose comes out, and Goose gets beat up, and the numbers disadvantage. And then TY comes out, hits super kick to Blaze.
Yeah.
Goes to hit TFA, but pulls up, turns and looks at Crow before he can attack him, and Crow like runs and rolls out of the ring. And then TFA bails out too. And it just pure chaos.
Absolute chaos. And who comes to sort out the chaos but Spencer Love?
Love machine himself. Spencer
himself. Spencer manages to clear things up. TY grabs the mic from Spencer and he cuts a little promo here about, he has integrity and he's going to beat Stephen Crow. And he's even going to let Stephen Crow pick the stipulation for their match in March. But then Spencer's like, I appreciate your integrity, but here's what we're actually going to do. Next month on the 27th, we're going to have a 6-man tag. It's going to be the Clandestine Society, MRB, Stephen Crow, and TFA.
Wait, when did TY join the...
I was going to say TFA, but then I put Stephen Crow next. Yeah, so it's MRB, Stephen Crow, and TFA taking on TY Jackson, Canadian Goose, and Jaxx Wylder. And the winning team gets to pick the stipulation for the Grand Championship match in March, which, there's some intrigue there. Like, you have the ability to bring that sibling rivalry back. You have the attempt to I don't know, do a couple other things. We'll see how it goes. I am excited.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be really fun. And again, depending on who wins, they get to pick whatever stip is. Okay, so just throw it out there. Craziest thing you can think of for a stipulation.
Hell in a Cell.
I was gonna say the first steel cage match in LPW history.
I mean, yeah, I guess that way you can avoid anyone else coming to help Steven. And
Like I that's the thing. I think TY picks that.
TY would pick that. What Steven would pick, probably a lumberjack, so he can have Blaze and TFA on the outside just in case.
Yeah.
Or just a singles match because Steven's a coward. No, I'm kidding. No, he kind of is, though.
It'd be some kind of no DQ situation, but like I'd like to see a steel cage.
I would be down for a steel cage. They haven't done a steel cage in LPW history. I'm surprised.
I'm very sure they haven't, because I don't think there's ever been a steel cage in the rec room. No,
that would be cool. That would be a cool thing to do.
I think it would. It can be logistically really hard to shoot,
Yeah.
but I'd be down to see it.
Yeah.
But we move on. It's time to scramble it all up, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the LPW Scramble Championship. It is Jack O'Connor taking on Lumberjack Larry was taking on Zoe Sager, taking on Christian Starr, taking on the LPW Scramble Champion, the stripper himself, Nick Shostastic.
Oh, God, the stripper. That picture he posted on social media of him naked with the belt.
I wasn't even talking about that. I was talking about his strip act in his entrance.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna bring that up, but yeah, no, he has like these leopard print pants on, and he goes to slowly pull them off, and he gets down to like right near his like ankles, and he like slips or something, and he falls over.
Oh my God! But the new gear,
very beautiful gear,
designed by the same people that worked on designed by Quinn Hawksley.
Yep.
And just it looked so good. Maybe it's not the best gear I've seen on the entire show.
Yeah, it had like the shades of purple and orange with the black and the scarves hanging off of one side and the gold chains hanging off the other. It's very model, very, very cool.
It very much suits the gimmick, suits him. I really liked it. I thought, and then the new black and gold kick pads that he had.
Yeah,
everything looked phenomenal. I have to shout out the new gear for
it was very good.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
So we get a hot start. Everybody getting pinfalls on each other.
Yep.
Mr. Shastastic gets a famous or bulldog combo to Christian Starr and Zoe Sager, respectively.
Yep.
A little bit later, Starr hits a double drop kick off the top to Jack and Larry. Huge running power. Nick hits the sidewalk power slam to Christian Starr, and then Jack hits a running power slam to Zoe. Then Starr hits him with a twist of fate, and then Larry hits a slam on Christian Starr. Like just absolutely, just rambled up chaos here. Yeah, Larry hits Jack with a like the kamikaze or the standing Green Bay plunge, whatever you want to call it. He hits the saw line, but before he can capitalize, Rich King into the ring, doing God's work, hitting a Rich Olympic slam onto Larry to make sure that man does not win a championship, puts Jack O'Connor on top.
Yes, that's a great touch right there, Rich.
Make sure Larry loses the match, but the pin is broken up.
It's unfortunate.
By the champion, Sasek. Zoe hits a Zoe is evil or the STO sweep onto Nick. And then she starts attacking everybody with kicks and boots. She hits a low pay to Starr on the floor. bunch of Zoluva kicks in the corner.
Yep.
Zoluva kicks to everybody in the ring. Then boots Starr off the stage. Then she hits a running knee, so everybody seated in the corner. Zoe misses the moonsault though. Starr goes up, hits a flying lariat to Nick. Just takes everyone out. Sling blades Larry, hit sling blades Jack.
Yep.
Them all to the floor except for Zoe. Hits a tope con hilo. And then comes back in the ring, somersault into a star cutter to Zoe. Then hits the second rope
springboard star cutter.
Yeah, the second rope superstar cutter. It just that way. But the Mad Lads come in attacking him. They hit Super Buck Nasty. They take out Larry and Jack. Nick fights them both, but they get the advantage just too much for the 3-on-1 advantage onto Nick Shastastic.
Mm-hmm.
And Zoe gets the Z Factor and gets the win.
The win. And Zoe is your new Scramble champion.
Outside of the finish, this match was amazing.
It was phenomenal up until the finish.
And then I'm just screaming, you just did what Rose did, is all I'm yelling at her. She at least wrestled the entire match, unlike Rose, because Rose came in out at the end of the match and had the Mad Lads do that. But still, all you did was take the paper out of their previous leader's playbook.
Yeah,
so
and then just did that.
Dynamic of a leader yet, Zoe. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. It's unfortunate because I was locked in and hoping that Nick would have a longer reign than that, but
me too.
It unfortunately, I guess it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah. So Thickness comes out after the match.
Yep.
Saying she's changed. Why are you doing what you're doing? But she says, what you don't realize is this is all just business. You being my bodyguard, it was just business. Everything was just business. And that's why the Mad Lads know this is just business. This is when they attack Thickness. Mars comes out, runs them all off.
Mm-hmm. She also says this is a business of being, business people, not friends. And she shit talks Short Kings like, oh, you guys are friends. You play Pokemon. You play Sonic Adventure 2. And it's like
that everything was great up till you said Sonic Adventure 2.
Yeah, garbage. Yeah, no, I know you think it's garbage, but
it is. It's not a good game, dude. Even the biggest fans of Sonic don't like that game.
This is a debate we can have later.
You know I'm wrong. You know I'm right. So you can't.
It's not as good as Sonic Adventure 1. I'm giving you that.
And it's not good as any other game in the world. That's the problem.
Speaking of Sonic Adventure 2, Thickness and Mars have Sonic Adventure inspired gear.
Yes, they do. So we go to intermission. We come back. Spencer gives me shit for not buying him beer. And
as usual. He goes to tell a joke.
No, but now I owe the guy 2 beers in the next show.
Yeah, now, you have to actually do that. And then he goes to tell a joke, but before he can even start the joke, Rich King comes out. Which, it didn't sound like it was going to be a good joke, so I don't know if Rich is in the right here or not. I'm going to say he is.
I can't ever say Rich is not in the right. So yeah, he must be in the right for interrupting. Yeah. So yeah, Thad comes out. He's wearing his neck brace again, and he cuts a promo. And I'll let my boy take over.
Yeah. So he explains. One, he makes sure that Spencer got his email about the stuff that he got with the police. With the Edmonton police. So he explains that at the last show at Revolution, the Revolution Rumble, he did enter the Revolution Rumble as a good manager would to try and help his client, Rich King, win the Rumble. But, of course, Thaddeus did get eliminated by that lumberjack loser, Larry.
Also calls him a moron.
He does call Larry a moron, which he is. So he got eliminated by Larry, but after Larry eliminated him, he assaulted him outside of the ring, and that is not in the wrestling business anymore. That is assault. He physically attacked Thaddeus after he was eliminated and gone from the match. So because of that, he has gone to the police and he has filed a restraining order against Larry. Larry does come out and tries to, like, jaw jack with Rich and Thaddeus. He explains to Larry, if you are ever within 30 feet of me after this point, you are going to jail. And then Larry gets escorted to the back by Spencer, and I don't know, TY doesn't come out yet. It's Spencer and a couple of the referees escort Larry to the back so that he doesn't get arrested, which all I can say to that is, I mean, the restraining order, good. And now we can actually move on to the match.
Yeah. So Rich King's already in the ring. Out comes the one Lone Star. Scotty Ace makes his way out to the ring. So we get into this match. Oh, yeah, I'm bad at this. Rich starts dominating early on, beating the hell out of one Scotty Ace. He gets this beautiful lifting, and then turns it into a final cut, like an inverted lift into a final cut. Looks really good. Scotty goes for a Rana, gets stopped, and Rich transitions into a beautiful cradle shock for 2. Scotty ends up slipping off the top rope when they're up top with Rich. Hangs Rich off the top rope, like dropping him down. Hits a final draw. But only gets 2. Legitimately, I had like 5 or 6 main notes, and it's the entire match for me, so I can go through all of it. Scotty scores a roll up for 2. Then hits some kicks, hits a shotgun drop kick, ends up missing in the corner, and Rich hits him with a Rich Olympic slam, then rolls through into the 8-6-7 driver.
Always great.
And he gets the win.
Very dominant win from Rich King here. He's showing that he is the best wrestler in LPW. And unfortunately, Scotty had to be the sacrificial lamb for that. Like, I love Scotty, but in LPW there is only one, and it's Rich King.
Yeah. So after the match, Scotty's going to leave, but then Dean Richter comes through the curtain, tosses Scotty back in, and Rich proceeds to hit 2 saw lines on Scotty. Goes for a third, but Larry comes out, but the referees are holding him back, and TY comes out holding him back to make sure he doesn't get himself arrested.
Thaddeus calls for security.
Thaddeus calling for security, which I did see doing a security vest earlier. Rolling around the venue, or rolling around in the showroom. And then they all head to the back.
And that's it. Yeah, no, it was a very, very, very good contest. Every match that Rich does is phenomenal. I do enjoy the man, and I do agree with him on pretty much everything he says. Like, there is no Rads without Rich King. TY would be champion if Rich was still with them, and the Rads would still be on top if Larry didn't exist.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, all of those are true, and I will not be taking questions about that.
I'll even say this: Tales from the Undercard, the Rads show.
Yep.
Their YouTube epic sensation.
Yep.
Was originally Rich's channel.
Yep.
It was Rich's channel first. But Larry pushed his way in and made sure became the Rads thing, because Larry just does whatever the hell he wants. And then he wanted to showcase his Transformer addiction. And
fucking Larry.
Yes. Larry has a Transformer addiction, ladies and gentlemen. That is the man you weirdos cheer for, a man with a Transformer addiction.
Of all the things you could be addicted to,
you're wrong to cheer for Larry.
Just incorrect. Who can love Transformers?
Oh, I like Transformers, but I'm not addicted to Transformers.
I'm sorry, let me rephrase. Who can love Transformers that much?
Larry.
And no one else.
Jack Larry.
Just Larry.
The loser Jack himself, Larry.
Yeah.
We move on. Right. Main event of the evening, LPW Tag Team Championships. It is your champions, Sheik Shabazz and Birak Arani. They are jacked. They are juicy. They are Lira.
Absolutely.
The Short Kings, Mars the Specialist, Thickness Reed Matthews, taking on the Mad Lads themselves, White Shirt William Taylor, Nasty Nate Nixon. Actually, I have extra shirts. I could change shirts out as matches happen, but
only we had time.
I have a Nate and shirt there. I have my Will shirt over there.
Yeah. But you just got the whole tag team match in your room.
Start talking about something.
Oh yeah. So the LPW Tag Team Championship. Yeah. So we have a really fun spot in the beginning stages of this match where we get the four everyone that isn't a short king gets thrown into the corner by Thickness. They're all stacked up, and Thickness goes for this 4-man cannonball. He goes, hits a cannonball, bang, onto Barat. I think Barat is the last one. And then Barat rolls out of the way. He loads it back up, hits another cannonball on like Nate, and then he loads it back up, hits a cannonball on Sheik, and then he loads it back up. Big yell of Thickness, and he lands the final cannonball on White Shirt. It was really cool looking. I'm very happy with
Yeah, I love that. It was so good. Just absolutely tremendously fun spot to do. Just so much crazy shit in this man. Like, one point Mars fights back, hits an enziguri, takes out Birat, who the Birat ends up getting like he goes to tag to Thickness, but Thickness got taken out, so he had to like tag Birat in,
it.
and comes in, hits a beautiful tiebreaker, the off the shoulders into the face bust.
The face busting like cutter stunner thing.
No, because he has them in like DVD, and he spins off the shoulder into the face buster onto the knee. Like it was Sean Spears' move.
It was Sean Spears' move. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, dude, I love that move. That I had to put that in my notes.
Because Spears originally did, when he was tied down, did the Ushigoroshi for the longest time. But then when Styles came into the company, he was Ushigoroshi. So he turned his Ushigoroshi into a spin out face breaker one.
Yeah, and he hits the spin out face breaker into an impaler DDT. Birat does, and that was really cool.
Yeah, Birat gets this like assisted rope walk, and then does the moonsault to like 3 or 4 people on the stage.
Yeah,
really good spot there.
Really cool looking.
Huge 5-man Tower of Doom, and then with Nate still up on the top rope, White Shirt picks up Mars onto his shoulders.
Yep.
Nate comes over the top, grabs Mars, and Canadian destroyers him off out of the powerbomb position from White Shirt's shoulders. Absolutely tremendous.
Absolutely phenomenal move.
Oh, Jesus. Everyone taking out each other with like flying like knees and strikes. And then Will hits an Ushigoroshi to Shiki baby.
Yep.
Dude, just there's a White Shirt gets hit with this psycho knee spear combo by the Short Kings.
Yeah, really cool looking.
Mars ends up stopping a nasty German and hits his holds on for when Nate goes for his nasty German at one point, and then hits an acai moonsault to Nate on the floor.
Yes.
Sheik Mars gets back in, but gets hit by a big boot from Sheiky baby, and Paralira hits the red rum.
Yes, we love the red rum.
And gets the win.
Paralira do retain here. Very happy about that. Always love seeing all 3 of these tag teams. The only 3 tag teams in the Love Pro Tag division. I'm going to be this was really good. I did not enjoy this as much as like other tag matches I've seen in the past. Like, I was kind of sort of comparing this to Paralira Short Kings at LPW 39, which was my LPW match of the year. It definitely was on, like, the action was on par with it. I think it was just the amount of bodies. Just I didn't enjoy it as much because of that.
It was a lot more chaos.
Really good though.
It was more chaos than synchronized violence. You know what I mean? Like, it just was more chaotic. Again, when you have 2 teams, it I think flows a little better. But where 3 teams, it just becomes like chaos. Everybody just bang, 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 bang. Yeah. It's hard. You don't get that same flow. But I understand this match was amazing. Don't get me wrong. It's a top tier match so far this year. But it's so good. Like 2026 has leaped off with a bang, especially with this main event. Like, just
it was a really good main event. No? Let that be not in doubt at all. We get a little bit of post match. Zoe, who has been out here since like 3/4 of the way through the main event, just like standing there, like giving the Short Kings lip. Zoe gets in the ring, and we have like the Mad Lads on one side and Zoe on one side, and we have the Short Kings on the other side. Paralear are already gone. At one point, as Paralear are leaving, he spits into Mars's oil cup.
Okay, so Sheik picked up the oil Rumble cup while having his tag team title on one shoulder. That also picks up
The
Will's
Championship of Salvation.
And he's standing there posing with it all. Then B-Rep puts the other tag team title on his shoulder. So then Sheik tries to lean into Zoe to get her to put her Scramble Championship on him.
Yeah. And she's like, nah, screw off.
No, and she like tries to get away from him. It was hilarious.
It was so funny.
So then as he's putting down like the cup and the title, he spits in the cup.
Yeah, which is you're gonna have to get that clean, Mars. But yeah, post-match, we have the Mad Lads and the Short Kings standing across from each other. Zoe is giving Thickness lip here. Will manages to come around and behind Thickness. And, of course, after the lip happens, Will hits Thickness with the Championship of Salvation, and they begin to beat down the Thickness. And Mars gets back into it. There's just chaos as these two teams are beating the bowels off of each other. The refs and Spencer eventually take control here, and they pull the Mad Lads and Zoe out of the ring as Spencer begins talking, and he proceeds to screw the Short Kings with this announcement.
Yeah, I don't get this. I really don't.
Yeah, so he essentially is like, "Hey, so we have our new Scramble champion. We have enough people out here to make a Scramble championship match. So the next month, the Scramble championship match is going to be Zoe versus Nate versus Will versus Mars versus Thickness." And my first and initial thought is, Spencer, what are you doing? You are giving Zoe a 3v2 match, essentially.
Yeah, because like the Mad Lads aren't going to screw her over. So they got the numbers advantage. So what you need to do, Mr. Love, is add in one more person to that Scramble match to side with the Short Kings.
Yeah, you could put Christian in there again. Like, yeah, he had a Scramble match this time, but on the clandestine show, they were literally palling around with each other.
Yeah, so put Christian in there to even the odds so that they don't have an advantage.
Yeah,
come on, Mr. Love. You're making,
Mr. Love,
making
do the
bad
right
decisions.
Thing. Do the right thing.
You're making great decisions, but just with poor thought into those great decisions.
I would say also put Rich King in there, but then it's just kind of muddies things.
Yeah, it does.
Rich does deserve a Scramble title shot. Don't get me wrong, but
he deserves every title shot.
He deserves to great Sasuke all of Love Pro Wrestling's belts.
He's an Ultimo Guerrero with that bitch, and just
he does.
Like he gets both. Whoever he wins the tag titles with, he gets both belts.
Yes, absolutely.
Because whoever his partner is lucky to be with Rich King.
Right. Yes. So that is the end of LPW 44. Really great show overall. Very happy with it. We're going to move into our match of the night for this show. And my match of the night is it. I thought it was going to be closer. It is really not. It is Michael Richard Blaze versus Jaxx Wylder. Just everything about this contest was perfect to me. Their chemistry, the moves, the brutal offense, the story at the end, the story in the match, the story after the match. It was just all great. And like you got both of them got all of their signatures out. Both of them like really pulled out all of the stops to try and win. And it really was up in arms. Like, could Jaxx beat Michael and get this title off of him? Like, it genuinely could have went either way. And that's what I love in a wrestling match, where it isn't immediately obvious who's winning. So that is my match of the night. What about you, Andre?
So my match of the night, in the same kind of words, that like almost like perfect match you talk about and how they flow together. It's T.Y. Jackson and Dean Richter. I thought, just like I said earlier, I think the chemistry between these two was absolute perfection. This match was absolutely tremendous. Everything they did, everything they were doing, I loved it. I love everything. I loved everything on this card. Don't get me wrong. It's just the one that I connected to most.
Which is valid.
The one that pulled me in, and the one I keep thinking about I sat down this morning to think about what's my match tonight, and this is the one that was right there for number one. This was the one number one.
We have each other's favorite wrestlers in our matches of the night. Like, you have my LPW Wrestler of the Year 2025 in your favorite match, and I have MRB in my favorite match. That's cool.
Yeah, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. That was cool.
Pretty funny. But we have come to the end of another episode of the Pop Spot.
Very good. Very happy with it.
Yeah. But before we get out of here, we have to talk and tell you where you can find us and all the love that we have in the world. So, my boy AWS, where can they find you?
You can find me on the Blue Sky at awscomedy.bluesky.social. You can find me on the Instagrams at awscomedyYEG. And if you want to watch me, my buddy Andreas, and my best friend Malcolm chat about Power Rangers, we're actually getting episodes out. I have actually started doing editing to help get these episodes that are in the can out so we can get to Lord Zed as quick as we can. You can check out the Morphomania podcast at youtube.com/@humanoidfreak2515. We are getting those episodes out as soon as we can. I'm assuming, and I know assuming is bad, but I'm really hoping that we can get the episodes we have in the can out by the end of next month, ideally. I can't guarantee that that'll happen, but I hope that we can, so we can actually get talking about Lord Zed again. I want to get back to that place. And I got to give a quick shout out to the Grindstone Theater, as I always do. It's a great subsidized theater space for new and emerging artists of all kinds. I will give the same two-show shout out. We have a mixtape improv show coming up this Thursday, January 29th. Tickets are pay a bill. You can buy them on the on Show Pass. You can look up Grindstone Theater's shows. You can also find their tickets at thegrindstonetheater.ca. Great show, great improv show with all of my favorite improv people in the city being randomly jumbled up into improv troops and doing improv games. One of my favorite shows. And I will also shout out the Grindstone fundraiser show coming up this Valentine's Day, February 14th. Featuring a bunch of acts from all of their top shows. We have acts from Mixtape, Help I'm Joking, and the stand-up show, Sketch Up, one of their premier sketch comedy groups that come in there, and more will be there. So, and all to help keep the lights on at the Grindstone Theater. And we were at the last fundraiser show. It was a lot of fun. So I'm planning to be at this one as well. So do come check it out. That's enough out of me. Where can they find you, my friend?
You can find me on the X and Blue Sky at the Canada Guy Instagram threads at that Canada Dude. You can find me over on our local establishment where you can find me doing point of view every Sunday. You can see me doing Marvel Talk, which Wonder Man comes out this Tuesday. So the following weekend, either the 31st or the 1st, we are going to have a Marvel Talk where myself, Old Ed, and the Empress of OLE, Peggy. We will be chatting about the Wonder Man series as a whole because it's all dropping in one day. So we're going to talk about it as a whole. So you can check that out over on that weekend because we want to give ourselves a few days to watch it. It won't be on the 30th because I got plans that day, but it'll be on the 31st or 1st. But yeah. So come check that over on our local establishment and all the other great content they have over there. But mainly you can find me right here on Backbreaker Video where I do the Pop Spot with my boy AWS right here. And we also have our special new show. Pop Spot Presents has debuted with the first episode came out this past week.
Featuring Kamikaze.
Kamikaze was our first guest. And I'm going to announce it right now. We have already locked in our second guest for an episode in February. I don't know if we're going to wait a whole month, but it'll be happening in February. Somewhere in February, might be in a couple weeks, might be towards the end of the month. I don't know. It just depends on scheduling and when we can set it all up. But our guest is pretty open. He said, just let me know when, and we'll do this. We are bringing on the future LPW Grand Champion, T.Y. Jackson.
I am actually so stoked that you locked in TY. I am super excited for that. I am super excited to pick that guy's brain.
Yeah. So we are going to be chatting with him in February on PopSpot Presents for the second episode. I've got the few, and you had a few people reach out to you about the show.
I've already had a few people reach out to me. Some people who, I'll be honest, I don't think are ready yet. But
again, and not to say nobody's not ready. It's just certain people
need more time.
Again, and I understand, but just some people and there's some people that have been on our list already for a long while that we need to get interviewed. But yeah, we have TY coming up. We have TY coming up in February. I'm sorry, Rich. I know we went to TY first. I apologize, but yeah, TY will be our guest in February, and we'll be having more coming. So check that out when it comes out in a few weeks.
Can I just say thank you for the support on the first episode? Like the amount of people who have watched that interview with Cam, we were watching those views skyrocket in those first 3 days, and I'm genuinely astonished that many people are watching our just us shoot the crap with a wrestler. I'm very happy with how that went, and I can't wait to do more. So thank you for watching genuinely so much.
Yes, thank all of you, because again, we appreciate the support you give us here on the PopSpot and with our new venture, PopSpot Presents. We really did have a lot of fun talking to Kamikaze, and I know we're gonna have a lot of fun talking to T.Y. Jackson. But for all the other great content right here on Backbreaker Video, you can check it all the great old wrestling content. My recommendation: Michael Richard Blaze versus Giselle Shaw in Drayton Valley, featuring this guy as the ring announcer. But you can check that match out in the archives Backbreaker Video. But you can also see all of Mike's live content over at twitch.tv/Mike the Ref, where he does his AEW watch alongs every Wednesday, Saturday, sometimes on Thursdays, and every pay-per-view. Yeah, and then every pay-per-view he does watch alongs for all that for AEW. So check that out over there. You also see him game over there on Twitch all the time. He's got his great new E-Fed that he's running in WWE 2K25. Looking like a lot of fun, featuring himself, featuring the Empress, featuring Kayla J, and a lot of other people in that E-Fed. So check it out. And then you can see replays of all his great gaming content, youtube.com/@backbreaker_gaming. You can also check out lovewrestling.ca or Love Wrestling on Tixer to get your tickets to the next event, which will be on February 27th.
LPW 45, a fistful of tights, coming February 27th. Can I get a pop for that?
Pop, pop.
Pop, pop. So that brings us to the end of the first LPW Pop Spot of 2026. That has been Andre C. I have been AWS. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like the video, comment, subscribe to Backbreaker Video, because you know your boys at the Pop Spot deserve it. And until next time, stay poppin'. Bye-bye.